Chosen one, this is not coincidence, it's divine alignment. If you're hearing these words, it's not random background noise in the universe, it's a moment heaven scheduled with precision. In fact, Romans 8:28 reminds us, and we know that all things work together for good to those who love God, to those who are the called according to his purpose. You are not here by chance, you are here by divine appointment. God has orchestrated this intersection in your life because something is shifting. The trials you've endured, the betrayals, the rejections, the nights you questioned your worth were not signs of defeat. They were part of your refining. Science tells us that gold must pass through intense fire to be purified, and spiritually it's no different. According to 1 Peter 1:7, the trial of your faith, being much more precious than gold, though it is tried with fire, might be found unto praise and honor and glory. Now you're exiting survival mode, you're stepping into divine authority. You've been in the shadows passing tests that no one but God witnessed, but promotion is coming. In Matthew 6:6, Jesus said that what's done in secret will be rewarded openly. That time is now. Only a select few, what some call the spiritual 1%, answer the call and walk out the full assignment God gives. But you've chosen obedience over ease, faith over fear, purpose over popularity, and heaven takes notice. Now comes your elevation. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, you're being upgraded. Confusion and chaos are being traded for clarity and covenant. This is your metamorphosis. Just as the caterpillar sheds its limitations to become a butterfly, you are shedding your past limitations to soar in your calling. The world might not understand this transformation, but heaven is throwing a celebration in your honor. So get ready for peace like a river, power to move mountains, and protection that surrounds you like a shield. You are not just changing, you are awakening. Point 1. The inner restlessness is a holy alarm. You're not just uncomfortable, you're spiritually unsettled. That gnawing feeling in your chest, that restlessness that won't let you sleep, focus, or feel settled no matter how fine everything seems, that's not anxiety, that's holy discontent. It's not your body reacting, it's your spirit responding. And guess what? It's heaven's nudge, that divine whisper saying, pack up, move forward, the wait is over. This isn't just another rough patch. It's a signal from the higher realms that your current season has expired. You've outgrown the space you're in. What once felt safe now feels suffocating. You're not crazy. You're being called. Chosen ones, spirit warriors. Let's get real. God doesn't just stir your spirit randomly. Heaven is precise, intentional. When your routines start to feel like ruts, when you start questioning everything that once brought you peace, it's not punishment, it's preparation. You're being activated. That job that once lit you up, it feels dry now because your light has outgrown it. That relationship that used to feel like home, it now echoes with hollowness because your soul is craving truth, not just comfort. The divine discomfort is never meant to destroy you. It's meant to deploy you. And don't roll your eyes because this is biblical. Even Moses wasn't chasing destiny when God found him. He was just tending sheep in the wilderness, probably thinking that's all there was to life. But then, boom, a bush burst into flames and didn't burn out. That was his divine disruption. And your burning bushes might not be made of leaves and fire, but they're just as loud. It's the job that suddenly drains your soul, the dream that won't let you go, the friendship that's falling apart no matter how hard you try. That's God's way of saying, this place has served you, but now you must serve something greater. This is your exodus. Not a punishment, but a promotion in disguise. You're not just leaving something behind, you're stepping into something divine. So, if you feel spiritually unsettled, don't fight it. Lean in. Your soul knows what your mind hasn't caught up with yet. You weren't made to stay stuck. You were made to walk through parted seas toward a promise with your name on it. Point 2, people start to exit without explanation. Ever notice how people suddenly drift away when you're on the verge of something big? One minute they're texting you daily, laughing on the phone, making plans. Next thing you know, it's radio silence. No more calls, no more vibe. It's like they vanished. But what if that silence isn't rejection? What if it's divine orchestration? See, when you're approaching a breakthrough, something spiritual, monumental, life-defining, it's not uncommon for certain connections to fall away, not because they're bad people, not because you did something wrong, but because your spirit is shifting and God is making room. This isn't just some cute spiritual quote for your Instagram story, it's a sacred principle. Think about it. Noise, clutter, and distractions can drown out the voice of God. When he says no more waiting, he doesn't just open the door, he clears the hallway. He doesn't want you hesitating because of emotional ties or familiarity. He wants you focused, clear-headed, and aligned. And sometimes that clarity only comes after a spiritual decluttering. You cannot meet your divine appointment in a crowd of confusion. It may feel like loss, but it's actually preparation. God removes what no longer serves your journey, even if it once felt like home. You might feel tempted to chase after people who walk away, but don't. That's like clinging to old maps when God's drawing new blueprints. Remember, Jesus himself had to go into the wilderness alone before he stepped fully into his purpose. Even the Son of God needed solitude before his mission ignited. So if people are ghosting, distancing, or detaching, it might not be personal, it might be prophetic. Don't mourn the exits, honor them. Because in their absence, space is made for alignment. Closed doors aren't punishment, they're divine protection. They redirect your steps so you arrive on time for what's next. In spiritual timing, God isn't just punctual, he's precise. So trust the silence, trust the emptiness. It's not abandonment, it's anointed space. A divine vacancy for a divine upgrade. Because when heaven schedules a breakthrough, earth must make room. And sometimes that means watching folks fade, only to realize later they were never meant to be there for the reveal. Point 3, you begin to hear God in strange places. Billboards, lyrics, strangers, dreams, even memes. Out of nowhere, it's like the universe picked up a megaphone and started shouting straight into your soul. The things you used to scroll past or brush off now carry an unmistakable weight. A song lyric hits a little deeper. A stranger's casual words mirror a thought you prayed in silence the night before. That number, 444 or 1111, keeps blinking at you like a divine notification. These moments aren't coincidences. They're confirmations. They're heaven's way of letting you know you're on the path, even if it's foggy. God knows you've been holding on. Quietly, patiently, sometimes even desperately. He knows that hope has started to flicker under the weight of delay, disappointment, and silence. And just when your spirit feels like it might give out, he begins to speak. Not through thunder or lightning, but through the gentle and surprising. That quote on a passing truck. A meme with an eerie relevance. A dream that feels more like a vision than a sleep story. All of it starts syncing up and you feel like you're living in a spiritual scavenger hunt. This isn't your imagination. This is divine navigation, a sacred GPS guiding your feet when logic can't. Synchronicity, a term coined by Carl Jung, refers to meaningful coincidences that seem to defy probability. But for the chosen ones, synchronicity isn't just psychological, it's spiritual. These are God's breadcrumbs. When names keep coming up, when messages repeat in strange places, when doors open with ease, it's time to pay attention. God doesn't always part the Red Sea. Sometimes he sends a tweet, a dream, or a stranger in the grocery line. You just have to be awake enough to catch it. The world is speaking back to you because your spirit is now in alignment. When you start noticing the patterns, it's a sign your frequency is matching God's instructions. The invisible has begun to echo in the visible. Angels may not show up in white robes. They might arrive as algorithms, overheard conversations, or chance encounters. But make no mistake, it's divine. So, chosen one, don't shrug it off. Don't downplay the signs because they come wrapped in the ordinary. The sacred often hides in plain sight. If your environment starts sounding like your prayers, start moving like the answer has already arrived. Point 4, you feel an urgency to prepare. You start scrubbing floors you once ignored, lighting candles you haven't touched in months, and reorganizing your room like royalty is coming over. It doesn't make logical sense. There's no big event on the calendar, no visitors scheduled to drop by, but something deeper is stirring. It's like your soul got a memo that your conscious mind missed. You suddenly feel an urgency to tidy not just your space, but your life. You're journaling again, pouring thoughts onto paper like they matter because they do. You find yourself drawn to scripture, not out of obligation, but with hunger. Every verse feels alive, every word a spark. It's as if the Bible became oxygen, and without it you can't breathe. This isn't just a routine shift, it's divine alignment. Spirit knows what your eyes have not yet seen. Heaven doesn't yell, it whispers, and right now it's whispering, company is coming. The strange part is, you don't even know who or what the guest is, but your spirit does. And it's not about panic or fear, it's preparation, because preparation is a sign of faith. We don't prepare for what we don't believe in. The very act of getting ready is an acknowledgement that something or someone is on the way. Psychologists call it cognitive priming. A subtle cue can trigger action without full awareness. Spiritually, this is divine prompting. The chosen ones often experience this before major shifts, a promotion, a new relationship, a spiritual awakening, or a divine appointment. The preparation becomes the prophecy. You wouldn't feel this pull if nothing was coming. You don't set a place at the table if you're not expecting a guest. The soul knows, and the soul responds. So don't ignore it, spirit warrior. Wash your face like you're about to meet destiny. Comb your spirit like royalty is watching. Shine your crown even if no one sees it yet, because the unseen is more real than the visible, and your preparation is already in motion. It's not anxiety, it's anticipation. Something holy is making its way toward you, and when it arrives, you'll realize the cleaning, the writing, the reading. It was all heaven's way of getting you ready. Your unexpected meeting is closer than your doubt. So get ready, because the door is about to open. Point 5. Divine appointments. Disguise themselves as interruptions. You've missed your bus and now you're running late. Your favorite coffee shop, the one you always stop by, is unexpectedly closed. You're rerouted down unfamiliar streets. The playlist you usually blast gets interrupted and your plans are getting shuffled like a deck of cards. Nothing is happening according to schedule. And strangely enough, you're not panicking. You're not irritated. In fact, there's a weird sense of calm bubbling under the surface, almost like this isn't just random, almost like something greater is at work, because here's the truth. Delays aren't always demonic. Sometimes they're divine. In a world obsessed with hustle and deadlines, we're conditioned to believe that every disruption is an inconvenience or even an attack. But what if it's the opposite? What if the wrong turn is the right path? Divine delays are one of the most underappreciated spiritual tools in God's toolbox. While we're busy trying to keep life on a neat and tidy schedule, the divine is busy orchestrating connections, lessons, and protection that we don't even see coming. That random lunch date you didn't plan. You may have sat next to someone who carries the answer to your next breakthrough. That stranger in the waiting room who looked up and smiled. Maybe they were sent to remind you you're not invisible. That video you almost didn't click. The one you swore you'd skip but ended up watching anyway. That could have been the breadcrumb God used to lead you to your next step, your healing, or even your purpose. In psychology, this phenomenon is close to what's called serendipity, the occurrence of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way. But spiritually, it's not just luck. It's divine choreography. God doesn't miss a beat. He hides destiny in detours. He places purpose in pauses. Even biblically, the greatest stories began with disruptions. Moses got rerouted to a burning bush. Joseph was delayed in a prison. Paul got blinded on a road he thought he knew. But every time, that divine interruption was the beginning of something supernatural. So the next time your plans fall apart, take a breath. Don't curse the change. Celebrate the redirection. Trust the delay. There's a divine fingerprint on it. Peace isn't always the result of control. It's often the fruit of surrender. Point 6. Your spirit recognizes someone instantly. You meet someone and something unexplainable stirs within you, like a breeze through your soul. There's no logical reason, no checklist of compatibility, and yet your spirit leans in. It's as if time slows, noise fades, and a familiar warmth enters the room, even if you've never met before. The connection feels ancient, as though the two of you signed a soul contract eons ago and are just now fulfilling its terms. This isn't just chemistry or attraction, it's remembrance. Chosen ones, what you're experiencing is your spirit recognizing someone your mind has long forgotten. In spiritual circles, this moment is often referred to as a soul recognition. It transcends the shallow levels of social interaction and dives into the deep, eternal waters of purpose and divine timing. Science may call it limbic resonance, the phenomenon where our emotional brain aligns with another's, syncing our nervous systems and energy fields. But those who walk the spiritual path know this as a sacred reconnection. When you're a chosen one, your life is not just a sequence of random meetings, it is a divine orchestration. Some souls are assigned to your mission by the Creator himself. They don't enter your life to take, distract, or compete. They arrive bearing spiritual keys, unlocking doors within you that no one else could even find. You'll know them not by their smile or charm, but by how your inner world reacts. The truth is felt, not explained. They won't try to fix you, outshine you, or mold you. They'll reflect back to you the truth you may have hidden from yourself. These are your destiny partners, your soul allies. They come with peace that calms your overthinking, with clarity that silences your doubts. Their presence won't pressure you to perform or please. Instead, they'll remind you of your purpose without uttering a single word. In a world of energy vampires and soul noise, these individuals will feel like quiet thunder, subtle yet powerful. A spiritual yes will rise in your chest before your brain has even caught up. And that, dear chosen one, is the language of the divine. The soul speaks in frequencies, not sentences. So when your spirit leans forward, listen. Something eternal is calling you home. Point 7, peace comes before it happens. The most underrated spiritual sign is not joy, not excitement, not a goosebump-filled encounter with the divine, but peace. Yes, peace, that deep, steady calm that whispers louder than any sermon. In a world obsessed with chasing happiness and hype, peace is the quiet confirmation that often gets overlooked. But here's the sacred truth. Peace is not passive. It's not apathy. It's spiritual intelligence. It's heaven's language. It's God's signature on something already finished in the spirit, even if you haven't seen it materialize yet in the natural. Peace is the divine receipt that says, your request has been processed. You don't need to track the package. It's already en route. Before major blessings unfold, before the door swings open and the long-awaited yes arrives, God often gives his chosen ones a supernatural stillness. It's not logical. It doesn't make sense. It's that strange calm that appears right when you should be panicking, doubting, or falling apart, but instead you feel an odd inner silence, no racing thoughts, no need to push, no anxiety, just a quiet inner knowing that says it is done. That stillness isn't nothing, it's everything. It's the Holy Spirit's fingerprint. You see, angels, when you stop striving, you allow the divine to start orchestrating. Surrender is not weakness, it's trust. It's releasing control and stepping into flow. In that sacred space of surrender, alignment happens, and alignment is where miracles live. Divine appointments don't come through frantic effort. They come through inner readiness. It's in that surrendered state that the right people call, the opportunity knocks, the healing flows, and the provision appears. Peace is your portal. It's not a detour from the spiritual journey, it is the journey. You stop begging, you stop manipulating outcomes, and suddenly you start receiving. Why? Because your energy shifts. You've graduated from desperation to devotion, from hustle to harmony. And that vibration, that's what draws the breakthrough to your door. It's not about shouting louder, it's about tuning in deeper. So if you're feeling still, settled, and unbothered, don't mistake that for inactivity. That's God's way of telling you, stay calm, stay seated. The miracle is already in motion. Peace is your proof. Spirit warriors, the wait is over. Heaven has declared it. Don't miss the moment because you're still looking for what it used to look like. God's about to do a new thing and he's doing it now. Unexpected, unplanned, undeniable. Your prayer has already been scheduled for manifestation. You're not being punished, you're being positioned. The meeting is set. All you have to do is show up, so stay open, stay ready, and stay awake on your spiritual journey, chosen ones. The next person you meet might just be the miracle you've been waiting for.